powdered donuts, sugar candy. Welcome to another episode of the ReUp. This is Jason Delgado coming to you safe and sound from the beautiful Orsini Studios in lovely, tumultuous Los Angeles, California. Welcome. I'm glad you're here to join us. If you've been keeping up with current events, it's nuts! But I just wanted to talk it out this episode and just see if we can figure out how to get to the bottom of some type of peace of mind, peace of world, unity, something to sort of bring us together a bit. I do feel like we are together on a certain subject for the most part, but there are still, pitfalls and mountains to climb before we could get anything sort of substantially done to provide true peace, where I don't have to have sirens and gunshots and helicopters and tear gas out my window. So I wanted to talk about that. I originally had planned to have a guest today, the hilarious comedian Paul Green, but I recorded that episode, maybe about 6 days ago. And when I listened back to it, I was like, that sounds like it's from a different planet. Like we're talking about a time before the internet. Like it's not even real what we're actually, just like, oh man, it's crazy, COVID, wonder when the clubs are going to open. And then that doesn't mean anything now. Now we're in a whole new realm, protesting for equality and for an end to police brutality. And I think that those are both excellent points to be made and goals to be strived towards. However, there are some people that for some reason don't believe that should be the goal. And to those people, I'm not sure what to say. I feel like if you're a good person and you see with your eyes and your heart, whether you're a police officer, a non-police officer, an army guard, anyone, white, black, any color, there's right and wrong, and we have to be able to see that. And I think that that's an important place to start. I mean, I can't see anyone who is a police officer of sound mind and good heart, if being asked, don't you think the police are being a little excessive, for them not to say yes. I mean, I just can't see a world where that's the case. I can't see a person where that's the case. I made a point on the ReUp rant this weekend, where a lot of times I understand their point of view. I have friends who are police officers. One of my childhood best friend is a police officer. His family is police officers. And these are good men. These are good people. And I can't imagine them not seeing that some of this stuff is just beyond the pale. You have to be able to recognize that. I mean, I haven't spoken to them, but I have to imagine. Just this idea that, if you're in a position of power, that requires a certain level of respect, because of that position of power. Excuse me, I think about it like, these police officers who go like, all we deal with is animals all day. You don't see what we deal with. People, these crazy people who come in us to try and kill us, to try to take us away from our families. So we're going to do whatever it takes to stop these animals from getting us so that we can keep the streets safe and keep ourselves safe and keep our families safe. Totally get it. Very valid point. It's just this idea of seeing everyone that way. That everyone's an animal. That everyone's this thing that needs to be dealt with. That we are the superior and they are just the meek that need to be hustled into some sort of submission. And I feel like that's a lot of the attitude I get. And I know police, I've always been respectful to police, and I've been in positions where I've been, sort of, pinpointed for what I was wearing and what I was driving in a neighborhood I shouldn't have been in. It's totally happened to me. But there's a part of me that also believes that I understand that as like, that's a part of life, man. Police are trying to do their best. And if they see somebody, dressed this way, doing this thing, they're going to get suspicious. But that's not right. That's honestly not the way it should be. That is a false way of thinking. You should be able to wear whatever you want and be any color you want, driving whatever you want. And until something goes bad, you're a good person and you're not to be threatened or felt to be threatened. And this idea that if you're playing rap music in a car, and I'm going to tase you before I ask for your license, this crazy stuff, or tackle you or choke you, this is nuts. It's like if a guy was talking about how it's customer service. You're providing public service. I'm a tech service person. And somebody calls me and goes, hey, my computer's not working. Can you help? And I go hey, we got a lot of people. Why don't you just restart the computer? Just restart and deal with it. Call us back if it doesn't work after the restart. Did you try it? Just do it. My upper management, my coworkers would be like, hey, you can't be rude like that. You got to, why not? She restarted her computer and it worked. She's wasting our time. You know how many stupid people I got to deal with hour to hour? I don't have time to be dealing with these little things. We get it out of the way. We clear it and we get it out of the way. So we can just go home with our sanity and not have to deal with so many stupid people. Just restart. Can't be that way. Management would come down. You know what I mean? And then there would be a talk to and be like, hey, you can deal with this problem a different way. And I think that that's what we really need to deal with. We really need to deal with that emotional element to policing. Because, excuse me for the bump, but I don't feel like that emotional part of it is being dealt with. If you were on the street, I've seen these protesters and everything's fine until one of them looks at a cop and goes, yeah, because you're a punk bitch. And then it's tear gas and knees to the chest. You know what I mean? It's bananas for an emotional response. You ain't going to talk to me that way. I'm a cop. I'm protecting your life. You ain't going to call me no punk bitch. Get on the ground. I'll put my knee in your chest. That's not the way it should be. The police should be like samurai. It ain't easy, but that's the way it should be. If you're representing the city and the badge and protection, you're somebody should be able to go yeah, you punk bitch. Yeah, why don't you deal with that? Why don't you deal with that, you little punk bitch? And they're like, everybody settle down. Why are we getting so loud? That's the attitude it should be. It should be overarching calm. Because at any point you could pull a gun and end a situation. So the calm needs to be the overarching emotion. But that is not the case, man. These people just jump at any little thing, any little pop, any little move. And they're like, we won't go. I don't like the way they're talking to us. Tear gas them. Nuts, man. Nuts. And it's that emotional response. We need more samurai-like police, that sort of, that chi, that centeredness, that ability to take. And, in training, I talked about it on the ReUp rant over Saturday. You should watch those. They're excellent. youtube.com/JDLATV. But if you do, have a position of power like that, you should be able to take the hit of somebody calling you names. Somebody may be getting loud with you, and you should be able to stay calm, samurai, zen, dealing with these emotional things. And that's part of the training that I think we need to stop this, maybe idea of defunding the police as far as eliminating, huge elements of the department and just shifting that money that we're spending on tanks and on, AK-47s or whatever kind of crazy military rifle stuff we got, and redirect that stuff towards training, towards people coming in and psychologically getting to the root of this. Saying you're going to deal with people like this and you're going to deal with people like this. And there needs to be a calm, there needs to be a zen. You control the situation with that calm. If you start to get excited, they start to get excited. If you're in a community where there's somebody listening to music you don't like too loud, you need to be able to remove your likes and dislikes from that situation and be an officer of the law, of the people. It can't just be like, I don't like the way they do their stuff, so I'm going to make sure I put my stance on what I believe the world should be like. Because I understand, man, people don't like rap music. People don't like black people. People don't like Puerto Ricans. How could you? We dance, we have big booties. But it's true. There are people who just don't like other people. And there is a way to weed those people out through psychological evaluation, through training. People can change. Years ago I had a friend who told me the problem is people don't change. And there's a Jay-Z line, you was who you was before you got here. I don't believe that anymore. People change. People get better. People have glitches. Nothing's beyond a glitch. No one's beyond a glitch. Not a computer, not a person. You know, that cop who pushed that officer over in Buffalo, or that cop who pushed that old man over in Buffalo, cracked his head and kept walking. I don't believe everybody's evil. I believe we're inherently good. I think he saw the situation and went, oh no, what am I going to do? I got to get out of here. What should I do? And then he thought in his mind, hey, that guy shouldn't have even been here. You're just doing your job. You're just doing your job. That guy could have had a knife. That guy could have killed you. And then keep walking. And your mind just rushes to self-preservation. And that's from just, this psychological trauma, this constant on edge, this constant amp. And there needs to be a place of peace where officers can balance one another out, where like if somebody's getting loud, the other officer can kind of step in and balance the, you know what I mean? Keep peace, not instigate, not, jump at any sort of, escalation, or a name that you might be called. Why are you out here killing people? I'll show you killing people. Why would you do that? It's crazy, And everyone's talking about this, and there's not much I could add because there are people who are far more educated on this than me as far as like places you can vote and people you can speak with and congressmen you can email to get stuff done. And that's what I've been doing. I've been looking at the Black Lives Matter page. I've been contributing, and I've been supporting in any way I can, making podcasts like this, making videos, trying to get it out there, trying to get a message out there that the way that we're going to fix this is money, like everything else. But honestly, through voting, getting out there, having your voice be heard, having your opinion be heard is one thing in the streets, and it's one thing when it's in a peaceful way, but with a group of people where there's that energy. It's another thing when you got to wait in line and you got to register and you got to mail something in. That's when it's different. That's when that inconvenience steps in the way of sort of the peace parade. And if we can get us in a position where we can actually vote things in and actually get things done, that's going to be a difference. If all these people who are marching and protesting vote, this world's going to change. It's no doubt. That's just a numbers game. But they're counting that inconvenience is what's going to stop it. And I got to fill out paperwork. Can't we just hang out in the streets and talk to girls? Black Lives Matter. But it's true. Whatever it takes. Hey, any way that they're getting people in the streets, that's the way. But it is. It's a festival of love and of protest and of appreciation for the change that needs to be made. But there is an element to it where it's attractive in a way. It's hip to do it. It's important to do it, but it's also in vogue. But voting is boring. And that's where it's dangerous. Because we need to get those same numbers and that same energy to register and wait in line at the gym or wherever the boring place needs to be where you got to fill out stuff. Who do I got to look up? The county sheriff? Who cares? You do. We have to care now. That's the point. That's why all this is happening. Because if we care and we do something, that's going to be the difference. If we meander and just do it when it's fun, and then the old people who hate new come in and just vote us like every other time, nothing's going to change. The old ways because the old people. We need new people in those voting booths, and that's us. I'm always out there. I always vote. Every year, every time I can, every chance I get to try and make a difference. But when I get to county clerk, I'm I like that guy's name. It's terrible because I don't know. I don't know those intricate things. I vote on presidents, senators, the big things that I feel like I can look up easy. But it's these ticky-tacky, nicky things that we have to look up, that we have to get into, local. I don't know who my chief of police, I don't know any of that stuff, man. I just need to educate myself and be part of that movement in the paperwork, boring way, just like I am in the exciting talking to the microphone in a podcast way. And that's difficult. That's going to take motivation. And I think the best way I've always been motivated is by seeing progress. And that's one of the things that's exciting. We are getting progress. We're going from looting and then rioting and now peaceful protest. Peaceful protest where the streets and the world is being stopped because people have had enough. But without breaking windows and any of that, because we're being heard. We're seeing progress, so we don't have to do that anymore. And I think it's important that we continue on that road. We continue in this way of just stopping the world until there's just a point where it's there's no other way but to listen and do something. We got big votes coming up soon. We can make a difference as a group, as a people. If we want to stop police brutality, if we want to stop inequality, if we want to stop rules that make it different for certain people or other people based on how much money they have or the color of their skin or who they want to fuck, that's wrong. That's wrong. And we need to stop that. And the only way we're going to stop that is going through the boring part. The part where we got to register, we got to look up who's up for what and what they believe in. And make a solid effort. Make a list like you're going to the supermarket during a pandemic. I'm getting chicken. I'm getting this. I'm getting milk. And then we're out. But seriously, I'm going to look that stuff up. I'm going to be, and I will broadcast it through the podcast, who I believe is going to be a good candidate and why. And I will set up lists of things for research purposes. But I really am. Just because I think it's super important that this time, if everybody's going to be voting, if everybody's going to be educated on that vote, this world's going to change. This world's going to change for the better. And it has to, because I want to go outside. I want to stop wearing a mask. We need to focus on getting that corona vaccine so I can go to a movie. But no, all these things are possible if we come together to do it. And so I hope that you are staying positive and you are staying motivated in your spirits and in your life and in your light. I'm still out here creating, still trying to make things on the back burner that may bloom out in the world once the world returns. But, right now, since everybody's inside, nobody can really do too much. There's a great time to just, educate yourself. Educate yourself on the things that you can do to make a change. So when the masks come off, everything will be better. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I appreciate the listen up until this point. We hope to have more guests on follow-up episodes of the ReUp, but, for now, I just wanted to kind of address what I've been feeling, what I've been thinking about, and the sort of the way that I feel we can best work ourselves out of this. Anyway, thank you for listening this far. My name is Jason Delgado. This has been the ReUp, and we will see or hear or be with you on the next one.